The shooter finally sevens out after 45 rolls. Okay, stop. Count your rack. Look where you are, right? Take a pause and start going back to the questions, right? Where's my next bet, if there is one? What's the next bet level if there's gonna be one, right? Did I profit enough? Am I ready to walk? We're talking about making good choices, okay? Making good choices is hard. And all these things that I talk to you about are really hard to do, right? It's hard to have discipline. It's hard to be satisfied and walk, right? And that's one example, two examples, I guess, of making good choices. And I joke about this because, you know, my daughters went off to college and, you know, the last thing we said to her was, we love you, make good choices. You know, it's like, it's hard because, again, it goes against human nature to make good choices, right? We want to have fun. We want to be degenerates. We want to do all the things that we're not supposed to do, and making good choices doesn't come naturally, but it's going to have to become part of your DNA here when you're playing in the casino. So what choices do you have? When I say make good choices, what are some of the choices that you have? There's probably more than this, right? But you're choosing how much to bet. You're choosing how much or what to bet on. You're choosing how much money you brought, by the way, to start with, right? You're choosing when to stop betting, and that maybe for the day. Maybe stop betting on a shooter or in a series or in a shoe, right? When to leave the table or the casino, when to leave the game. Maybe craps ain't your game today, you're gonna go play something different. Maybe you're just not having it, right? Today in the garage was a good example. I didn't have it, right? We were missing every bet, we never got paid. It's like, hey, you know what? It ain't your day, leave, right? There's a school of thought that says bring enough bankroll to last for 10 or whatever number of shooters that it is, right? Sometimes, and I guess the theory behind that is if you're gonna lose 10 times, you gave it your shot, right? I'll tell you what, you lose, like we did today, 8 shooters in a row, it ain't fun, right? It ain't fun. You're likelier to just walk away and get it a different day than to have the last little bit of money in your rack make you all the money. It happens sometimes, but making a good choice might just be, you know what, preserve the bankroll you got, don't burn it up, chasing your tail on a bad day. Sometimes it's just a bad day, right? I've been insanely lucky in the daily paycheck. I've also been unlucky sometimes. You got to recognize that, right? Work the luck, run when it's not going good. It's just like streak betting, right? I look at sessions back to back as a streak. I'm winning, I will stay and increase. I am losing, I'm getting out as low as I can. Right? That's, I think, smart play, making good choices. When are you faced with choices? Those same choices happen to you here after every loss, after every win. In other words, after every decision's been made on your money. And think about that. Every throw in craps is an example. Every roll of the ball in roulette, every hand in other games is a decision in some shape or form. Sometimes in craps, the dice roll and there's no decision. Nothing happened. It doesn't land on your number or the number that takes your money away. But you have a chance to make a choice after every decision. What just happened to me? Okay, I had a bet on this number, that number hit, I got some money. I have a decision to make. Right now I have a decision to make, okay? Or I had bets out there and something happened and I lost my money. I have a decision to make. Right? My decisions are going to be, going back a screen, how much do I bet now? Right? Since I lost that bet, do I go back with that bet amount plus some? Do I go back with that bet amount minus some? Do I do a same bet? Or do I not bet at all? Those are decisions you have to kind of think about with every bet that you've got. If you're playing a game like roulette or craps worth multiple bets, or with the next bet in the series in a more card-based game, right? You've got to make that choice. Again, after every decision. In craps, it might be after every throw. Every throw, I didn't win. You're still making choices. Do I still keep my bets up? Dice are off the table. Do I make a bet? Do I pull back? Right? Those decisions happen to you all the time. And how do you make a good choice? Well, here's the stoplight theory, right? That we teach kids, and I think it's good for us too, right? We teach kids, it works for us, right? Your decision-making process is this, and it's hard to make a good choice. It's difficult to be a smart decision maker, but here's what you do. You stop, right? Red light, stop. Okay. The minute that decision happens, and let's go back one screen. The decision, every win, every loss, the decision might be your run at the table's over. You're out of bankroll or you're at goal, right? Those are also decisions. But at that decision point, you stop and just take a second and evaluate where you are. Go to the yellow light, right? Red light, we look at the yellow light. What do? Take a breath, sit back, right? Internalize a little bit. What just happened? What was the impact of what just happened? Did that win put me to my goal or over my goal? Okay. Did that win get me even for the day in my rack with money out there on the felt still? Did that loss put me at my limit? Did that loss take my win goal below where it needed to be? Did that non-event change anything for me the way that I see the world in terms of a trend or whatever else you want to call it, right? Take a second to evaluate. It doesn't take long, but stop what you're doing. Give yourself time to process. And we talk about this all the time. I say to you, make informed decisions. You've got the information. You know what the probabilities are. You know what the odds are. We know how to calculate them. Take the time to make that evaluation and then make your decision, okay? If you skip the stop and evaluate, sometimes you're going to be too mechanical. And I believe in mechanical play. And there's reasons why I believe in mechanical play, because mechanical play, I think, feeds the math, right? The math is the math. You can't break math. So when you play mechanically, you're just going to ride what's going to happen. However, you can change rhythm by stopping, right? You can change bet amounts by altering things. You can't change the result, but I think playing mechanically sometimes gets you in trouble if you don't stop and evaluate and say, look, what was the impact of that bet? The mechanical thing is to keep betting. However, that bet that just happened, the win or loss, just changed my rack in a certain way that now I got to make a call. Am I done, or am I going in, or am I going in harder, right? Give yourself time to make the call. I think that's the thing that we tend to forget to do, right? I think we get too like this, and you get robotic sometimes, and you forget to make a decision. What is your decision? Again, we'll go back. The decisions you're making are how much to bet, what to bet on for the most part. Are you done? Are you leaving? Or are you going in harder? Those are your basic decisions. And again, if you're a player that is trying to hop on a trend or a streak or something, that decision may not be purely bankroll based. That decision might just be, I'm seeing this, my bet won, my bet won, my bet won, my bet won, 4 in a row, okay? Your stop and evaluate right there might be, I've hit I'm on the 4th leg of a parlay here, right? That third win satisfies every other condition that I have. My mechanical play style says, well, I'm on hit 4. I need to let that thing roll and get the 4th hit to have the super profit. However, 3rd hit got me where I wanted to be. What's my decision there, right? Your decision could be, I'm not betting right now until I see this condition happen. I'm not going to put a bet out there until I see 2 fields in a row. Okay, cool. I saw 2 fields in a row. Stop, evaluate. I've seen 2 fields in a row. My bankroll is here. My decision is how much to bet and where it's going to go. On the field in the horn type of thing, right? That's what I'm talking about. So give yourself the time to do the stoplight thing and evaluate. Stop, pause, do your math, do your calculus in your head, and make a decision on what you want to do. So that's just kind of again, a quick look at what it means to me to make a good choice, right? And again, it's not easy to make. I put up here, it's good choices are smart choices, and they're difficult to make because sometimes the right choice to make is not the one you want to make. And that goes back to discipline. That goes back to being satisfied. Sometimes the right choice isn't the one you want to do. And I get it. Believe me, I find myself in there with you all the time. But if you're going to win on the regular, if you're going to win more often than you lose, the reason why, again, my paycheck series for the most part is about a 70% win rate besides the one we're on right now. The reason why is decision making. It's some luck. A lot of it is decision making. And I think you got to fight it, man. It's hard, especially when you're there. It's easier to do it here in my studio, make good decisions, and I can talk like I'm a great professor here, but at the casino, what happens? The heart rate goes up, the whole thing happens, right? Everything's fighting you. The casino knows. They know how to make you make bad decisions, right? We got to fight some of that. So there it is, right? There it is, guys. And again, just kind of a little thought experiment for you here, right? Let's have an example, right? You have $1,000 buy-in, and here's, ignore the bottom part for right now. Look at the scenario. You bought in for $1,000. Let's say you're at a craps table, right? The table heats up, 45 rollers. Somebody's just on a freaking heater, right? You see a whole screen full of red and roulette, or a whole bunch of bankers and baccarat, right? Whatever is going on, right? The shoe is wicked thick for you in blackjack, right? All the conditions are perfect, right? And the decisions that you've got after each bet, after a certain time, when the shoe's over, let's say the shoe ends, right? The shoe has ended and you got like 20 wins in a row on the blackjack table, right? Or the Bach table. The shooter finally sevens out after 45 rolls. Okay, stop. Count your rack. Look where you are, right? Take a pause and start going back to the questions, right? Where's my next bet, if there is one? What's the next bet level, if there's gonna be one, right? Did I profit enough? Am I ready to walk, right? Start with that and then move on. That's fine if you walked into a table, you bought them for $1,000, and that happens. And that does happen. What happens more often is what happens on the bottom. What happens if you go out there, today's a good example, you lose $400 or you lose $750 of that $1,000 out of the gate. How many times you walk up and you go, you get your ass kicked right out of the gate? And you're feeling down, right? But then the heater comes. Then comes the heater. And the decisions you make during the heater dictate a lot of things, right? Is your goal changed? Does your goal change from, okay, I brought $1,000 to try and win 500. Now I'm down to 250. I need to win back that $1,000, get back to even, right? Did the 45 roller or the 20 reds just get you back to even again? Which very well could be. Did that shoe only serve to recover your previous loss? And you're like, oh God, we just went on this amazing run and we got back to even again, okay? What is the decision that you can make, right? How much to bet? Am I betting next? What am I betting on? Am I ready to leave? I'll tell you what, a good choice to make in that situation is to bye-bye. And what I mean by that is this: if you lose $750 and you win enough to be back to even again, you just won $750. Now, granted, it didn't turn up as profit, but if you walk into a casino and turn $250 into $1,000, that's a miracle. You've bucked everything that you're supposed to do. Get out, right? That's a quote unquote good decision, but it's a tough one to make, right? You gotta think about those things as you're going through, all right? So what if we go back to my table? We have about a half an hour here. Let's go to my table and let's play again like we did yesterday. I'll just do a simple little strategy, nothing earth shattering. And let's try and make some good choices. Let's see if I can get us into a scenario where I have to make a good choice. What do you want to play today? You want to do a little more tier pressure? Tier pressure is a good strategy to work on this because it gives me a lot of options and a lot of chances to do bad things, right? Here we go. We're at $500 in the rack, I think. Let's make sure we've got 500 here. That's 1, 2, whoops. Wow, Johnny, bad dealer. 3, 4, $500. Okay, $500 in the rack. Let's do a little 96 across tier pressure. And again, points to be made as I'm getting set up in here are this. Number one, we bought it for $500. We're playing at a $15 table that's underfunded. Know that going in, okay? We talked the other day about unit sizes, right? With $500, my unit size should be $5, not $15. But here I am in a $15 table, okay? So we're gonna drop $100. We're gonna get $4 back. And again, I realized that we were underfunded, so apologies in advance for that, but here we go. Let's set up 96 across to 3 units on each bet. There's 3, 3, 3, and 3, okay? There we go. Up and off, please, dealer. Puck is off, let's come on out. And let's see if we can find a way to make some good choices. Now I'm gonna make my goal today 50%. We're gonna do a high goal. We're gonna try and get, we'll make our goal $200. We'll try and win $200 today if we can, okay? The move that we're gonna do is our tier pressure move, right? It's 4 hits. Every 4 hits, we double our money, right? We don't have enough money, we can't regress, right? To do a regression system, I'd have to be out here at least 320 across and take probably 2 hits, or do a 220 squeeze play and survive 2 hits. That's half my bankroll. I can't do that. So we're gonna do 1/5 of our bankroll, which is, again, still too much. Here we go. We're on the 9. Let's have a good run here. We got a midnight, which does nothing for you and me. Sip of coffee here. We got a yo, our good friend Shiro Muchi, 6.5 mid-mo. We're working that ATS hard right now, right? Another yo, 6.5. The repeater table of Johns, right? There is a 9. We hit our point. Fantastic. Okay, that pays 21 bucks. Okay, tier pressure is a full press, right? For 4 rolls. It all goes on top, right? We'll take the quarter out of that. Looks like $35. Take a buck back to the rack. Puck goes off. That's hit number 1. We got to remember where we are. 6. New point is going to be a 6. Shooter's on a heater, right? It's like roll 6 already. There's a 5. Fantastic. Just like the 9, it's going to pay $21. We're going to full press, take the buck back, and again, I'll take the quarter. 5 nickels for a quarter. Looks like 35 bucks. We're looking for either 4 hits or something to be a repeater. That's our out clause here. Okay, there's a 1, 2, 3 ace deuce. The other side of the horn's getting worked now. Okay, here we go. The mid-mo yo again. That's 3 yos, 3 yos, 3 yos for the shooter. We gotta love that, right? Here we go. Give me something good. Nope, we got a 7. We got ourselves a 7, and that sucks. Let's reset the board. Didn't get it. We got 2 hits out of our 3 that we needed. I'm going to reset 96 across. Okay. I'm going to take my next $100 out of the rack for $4 and change. We got a bunch of whites out here now. We'll actually take 5 whites out. Okay. We're back set up again. We're down 2 units, right? 2 of our, what I would call a betting unit here, right? Our betting unit size is 3 nickels, right? But our session unit or our series unit is $100, right? We're going to risk 5 series units, 5 $100 units to win 2 if we can pull it off, right? It's going to be hard work though. Here's an 8. Here we go. We're on the point of 8. We got a 6. And again, the decision, right? With this one here, you're mechanically making decisions early, right? This is a mechanical strategy, so there's nothing really to think about. $21. Right, I will drop a buck. Am I gonna drop a buck? Am I gonna go to 30? I'm gonna go to 36. Let's go to 36 bucks. There's 15. That makes 30. 35. $36. We'll take a couple of bucks back. 6 goes to $36. Okay, full press. There's a 5. Okay, cool. 3, 2, 5. You know the drill. It pays 21. We're gonna make it look like 35. In exchange for that $1. That's hit number 2. There's the 8. That's hit number 3. That is the point, which is a huge bummer. $21. There's 35. 36 bucks. A couple of dollars change. Puck is off. We're coming out. We've had 3 hits. The 5, the 6, and the 8 have all been hit. New point's going to be a 6. Here's the money shot. Can we get it? We got a 4. All right, cool. We got a 4. Yay. $27 on that 4. Now, this strategy that I play, this tier pressure strategy, results in this all the time. We're going to go backwards. We're going to go back now where we were. We're going to start back to $96. Okay, so what I need to do here is get a quarter exchange for some nickels. We'll put our $3 on top of that. So we're going to bring back $75, $85, $86 out of our 96 that we started with, but we did bring some whites back too. So where are we at? Almost recovered. If I take this, that is actually a full quarter. Look where we are. We're back to even. This is that, okay, make the decision time. Okay, we stop. We have $400 in the rack. We have $96 out here. We're technically speaking, we're $4 under right now. We worked hard. We lost $100. We won $100. We're $4 light. Okay. The decision can be this. Whew. Take a breath. The shooter did its job. We're done. We can now half press from here forward. Hear me out. And again, making good choices is difficult. Choice number one, we know that the tier pressure, 4 hits, will double up what's out here. I know that I can try for 4 hits again, double myself up, and get my rack right. That would be option one. Option two would be to stick mechanically in the strategy that I wanted to play, which was make the bets that are out here paid for, and then hope for the long roll and half press myself to go. So when I say make good choices, this is what I'm talking about. What do you want to do here, right? You have to think about the situation that you're in. Is it quote unquote easier to just get doubled again and play it up and really be playing hardcore for free, or let this be independent of this? Because this feels like I went out there at 96 across and just wanted a half press out of my rack versus half pressing from a strong position. So my decision here is going to be to repeat what we just did. Play the strategy we just played to get my rack even first and then go for it. So I'm going to delay the roll. And again, let's let this happen. If this hopefully works out, we can have a nice little talk about what I'm thinking here, okay? And this is a situation that we run into a lot when you're technically speaking down, but you're still playing. Okay, here we go. Another yo. That's our 4th yo for this shooter. Holy moly. Here we go. There's the 7. It didn't matter anyway, right? Whether we half pressed or not, didn't matter. We lost $100 either way. Let me talk about what I was going to get to. If we would have had a better run, would have been a better conversation. But if you just start pressing from here and going, you're going to catch the roll and ride with it, with the shooter. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4 and regress again, you're going to be 8 rolls behind the rest of the table, 8 rolls behind the shooter if you do that, which is interesting because you would have taken 4 rolls to get the first 100 back, 4 rolls to get the second 100 back. Now you're starting to press and you're at roll 9. The shooter, even if they go 25 rolls, you're only going to be able to press on 15 of them. You follow me? Instead of just going right there and increasing your potential for a bigger win. These are the decisions and craps that are very difficult to make. And again, you got to stop, pause, and think. Here we go. 96 out. We got to pay for that. And we're in the same spot we were before. 300 in the rack, $100 out. We have not yet recovered our loss. And we're going to have to play here hard to cover the loss. There's an 8. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Midnight. I should be doing that TST throw, right? I should be doing I don't know why I'm not. I guess I don't really think about that much. There it is. TST. I don't even know how to do it. Terrible throw. Okay, 6. That's a 6. I'm like too close. All right, there's $21. We're gonna go to 36. There's 35. $36. That's hit 1. There's the 8. That's the point. Same thing as the 6. We're going to go, let's go 21. It'll be 36. With some change. Puck is off. Here we go. Hit number 2. 7. Doesn't matter. We're off with the puck. There's an 8, back to the same point. Here we go. 6, all right. That pays $42, $25, $42. Beautiful, okay? Again, this strategy is based on getting 4 hits or something to repeat. That's your regression trigger, okay? Let's get back down. There's 18. I need $2 here. There's 18, there's 18. So we pulled off $80. We'll take a nickel out of here. We'll make it $85. Not quite out of the hand, but close to it. And again, that same decision. Do you do tier pressure again to get back to even before you start going, right? Is your decision-making process, I'm going to be even in my rack before I start going hard? Or do I just go hard from where I am and say, well, let this shooter take care of me, right? And again, this is your decision. Last time we said, let's just do the 4 hits again. I'll do that one more time here, okay? The next shooter if we have one, we'll do it a different way. And I want you to just, again, evaluate the rack all the time where we go. Here we go. 415, $21. We're going to do the full press. Take our dollar back. Not going to half press until I'm even in the rack is when I'm going to start the process. There's a 9, a 6, 3, 9. Same as the 5. $21. Looks like 35. Dollar back to the rack. That's 2. There's a 4. Fantastic. Pays $27 for 15. Looks like 40. There's the VIG. Okay, here we go. Can we survive? We do survive. Look at that. We got a 10. Also pays $27, and now we're out. Okay. 4 goes back to 15 bucks. The 5 will go back to 15 bucks. The 9 will go back to 15 bucks. I need to get some change. Oh, no, I don't. There's it right there. And that's it. We're back to 96 across. We brought back 100 bucks on that shooter. The rack right now, not perfectly even. We have 475 plus a bunch of white chips in the rack. We're effectively now playing free. But look what it took to get here. This shooter, we got 3 or 4 rolls to get our first 100 back, 3 or 4 rolls to get our second 100 back. We're basically even. And now we're going to play craps. Now we're going to actually go out there and try to make some money, right? Again, is that a good decision or a bad decision? For me, right? When I gave you that scenario before, you've lost a bunch of money. We lost 200 bucks. And you've now won a couple $100 back. It's kind of a miracle to have gone from here, think about it, to here. That's a lot. That's a lot of winning. We won 2 full units back after losing them, right? That's a lot of work. I could be convinced right now to run away, because look where we are. 475 in the rack, 96 out here. That's $75 in profit. When we were 200 bucks down, we're up 75 bucks, but we're also behind the shooter. This is where you get into like, okay, the woulda, coulda, shoulda, man. Boy, if I'd have just bet 96 across hard from the get-go on that shooter, we'd be at roll 9. I'd be all pressed up, making all kinds of money. But the good decision-making, to me at least, right? Get this taken care of before I start worrying about this, right? That may cost me money at some point, but there's the 7. It keeps me, I think, relatively safe too, right? And I think there's a reason why my win rate is bigger than it ought to be. And I think it's because sometimes I make decisions like this where, hey, if we'd have just gone for it, 8 rolls in, there's no way you're making 200 bucks in 8 rolls if you're just going to half press from 0, right? So sometimes you've got to play a little bit more cat-like, I guess, right? Here we are, 96 across. Let's take 100 bucks out. I'll take 104 out. We'll take 104. I'll get back 10 bucks and change. And we're reset for our last shooter. Our last shooter. Can I make this profit and get out of here? 10 is the point. I love the points, the outside points. Can we survive, though? Can we survive? Can we make our 4-hit builder play work? And again, I think it's important when you're underfunded like we are at a high minimum table to not try and regress. You've got to try and build, I think, in craps. Build up to pull back. There's the 10 for the point. That'll pay $27. Looks like 40. There's your VIG. Puck is off. I think you got to build yourself up to the point where you're ready to play. You cannot try and regress, I think. I'm not willing to risk half or 2/3 of that to try and regress. Here we go. Point is 6. We got a 10 again. Look at that, baby. The 10 hits for 80 bucks. 40 pays 80. 75, 80. Again, tier pressure says either 4 hits or something bangs out twice. We banged out 2 10s. It goes back to 15 bucks. And look at that. We're out of the hand, right? There is our, where we started with. I've got 15, 18 bucks in here. If I move that over to here, we're even. Okay, we're even. We have essentially $7. We're light $7 in the rack plus the $96 that's out here. Looking pretty stout, right? We can walk with 100 bucks in profit. But I think 96 plus the 18 bucks, we can walk out here with about $100 in profit or keep going for our goal. Here's the decision. Are you ready to walk or do we keep playing? And if we keep playing, what are we going to do? I think that since we're even in the rack, effectively even in the rack, we don't have to do tier pressure again. We can now start half pressing, okay? This is my decision. My decision is to risk the $96 that we had out here against what just happened, which is the 7. How many times does that happen, right? You work your ass off to get even and you burn it. Or we decided not to walk with a profit. And remember, we were down 200 bucks. We worked our tails off to get back to even and actually up almost 100 bucks. And a decision that we made puts us here, and now we're down again. And off we go. 75, 85, 90, $3. Okay, so I owe the world $1, right? We're gonna buy in, there's our 90, actually I owe the world $3. I'm not gonna break a quarter just for no, I'm not gonna do it. We owe the world $3. If we get a win here somewhere, we'll pay the $3 back to the bank. Here we go. Coming out, last shooter. Last crack, 7 come out, who cares? 8, okay, point is gonna be 8. Here we go. Here we go. Another 10, you know the drill. It's $27. It goes to 40, $2 in vig. There's a 6, 666, pays 21. There's 35. There's 36. There's $3 that I owe the world, paid back. So now we're actually right, okay? 3 craps, 3, doesn't matter to me. There's the 6, awesome. That pays 42 bucks. We take the 10 back to 15, we take the 6 back to 18 bucks. Again, we had a number repeat itself, okay? We're at 75, 85 bucks. Okay, again, the tier pressure way of playing almost gets you back most of the time. Look at that, the rack is back to being good. We're set up to play. And again, same decision as last time. If I take $10 back or $15 to take the 10 down, that's my starting bankroll. What I'm left with out here was 96 minus 15, $81 in profit is sitting here on the table. Walk with $81. Which is half of our win goal for the day, or play it out, right? We're degenerates today on my show. We're gonna play it out, but honest to God, when you work yourself back from being 2 big units down, 2 play units down, you gotta think about it, right? All right, let's go. Half press it. We'll go $27. Make it look like a quarter for $1 in vig. And here we go. I'm gonna take these reds and color them up. Now the bankroll is right. There's our 500 bucks. We have $1. We have $1 in locked profit. No matter what happens today, we have $1 in profit locked up. There's a 6, 426. Again, we're going to half press it. It pays 21. We'll drop that buck to press it by 12. We're going to half press. It makes it look like 30. Drop $1, go to 30. And there she is. There's the 7. So we're going to lose, again, right, our decision-making process today. We've snatched defeat from the jaws of victory 4 times in a row. Okay, welcome to the world of craps, by the way. Now we have a $10 profit. 96 potentially out here if I decide to play again, or we can walk with 10 bucks. We could have walked with $81. We could have walked with $77. We could have walked with $106. 3 different times today, we could have walked with 100 bucks. 3 different times, we could have walked with money today. After being down 200, we earned enough money to be up 100, which means we burned 200 and won 300 bucks, which is more than our initial goal was, right? However, starting from underneath the $300 win doesn't feel very good. And I think that's a piece I want to talk about. Let's come back to our screen here, and I want to talk about that because that to me, kind of cements the point. Let's go. We got to think about what just happened. And I did that all on purpose. I didn't roll the sevens on purpose, but I wanted to play that way on purpose, hoping that this was going to happen. Because again, if you start with $500, your goal is to win $200. That's a lot. It's a big goal. It's a lofty goal. We lost $200 and got to $100 in profit, which means we won $300. Think about that, right? We lost 2, got to a profit of 100, which means we won 300, which is more than our goal. Our goal was to take 500 and earn 200. We actually earned at some point during that roll $300. We overachieved. Casino speak, right? Never left once. It's a miracle to win $300 when you start with 500. We started with 300 actually, right? And doubled the $300 that we were left with. It's amazing to do that, right? It's hard work to do that. And again, making good choices. Here we are. We bought in for a bunch. We lost a little bit. We won back to get even and a little bit of profit. The good choice is to be like, wow, I just won $300. Like, I got to go. I won three session units. I got to get out of here. Like, that was a miracle to do that. Instead, we're like, oh, good, I'm playing for free again. Let's try and make it happen. And guess what? It didn't happen. 3 times in a row, it didn't happen. Burned ourselves. We now have $10 in profit instead of $100 in profit. Just because of, again, making non-appropriate choices for us, okay? So let's compartmentalize that and use that as an example and ask yourselves, how would you have done in the same situation, okay? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.